Hello, everybody. Welcome to sportsbookreview.com, and we continue our tennis coverage here. Quarterfinals, men's and singles. It's all heating up. A few upsets, a few faces that have been sad to leave the competition, but there's some firm favourites still in as well. Interesting to see if there's any value. But listen, brought in the big guns here. We've got RDL, we've got Alex from Need for Tips, and we have the Whale Capper. Just quickly, because I thought that I know some information about you, and we do have some time. So I thought, because we go to the quarterfinals, so I thought I'd just ask a little bit of questions. So the first question is to Whale Cap, and obviously Whale Cap, we're coming to. I know that sort of tennis related, and tennis is one of your strong subjects, and you also cover the NFL as well. Now, after the NFL and after the Grand Slams, do you just focus on Grand Slams? Do you move to another sport, like after Super Bowl? What happens?
Well, really, I mean, for the whole of 2019 so far, a majority of my action has been NBA. I bet NBA pretty much daily. I only take off Sundays when there's lots of football going on. But now with tennis season kicking up, it's like officially like I follow the tour pretty closely. I don't, the weeks like, the next week is annoying because or at least I have to look a little bit closer at the schedule because they're reshuffling some things around. But I follow pretty closely the indoor part of the tour in Europe, which is there's always some fantastic tennis there. Rotterdam is a great tournament that comes up in February. The Golden Swing in South America is a ton of fun to handicap. Looking at some of the European players going up against the South Americans on clay is a ton of fun to watch. So it's officially tennis season in my head, and once we get into the spring. May, June, July, then it's like all tennis because the NBA is winding down and it's just kind of tennis handicapping daily is my number one focus, and then kind of getting ready for football season again.
Wow. Does it mean you can take a little sort of, obviously now you're just focusing on tennis. Does it mean you can enjoy this wonderful part of the world that you live in now coming from us from another sunny location? Does it allow you time to be able to just enjoy your life even more?
A little bit. I mean, this little 2-week stretch here where the Australian Open is going on at the same time as the NFL playoffs, at the same time as NBA season, is the toughest because you're juggling three sports where you're trying to keep up with the information and the news all at the same time, and it's extremely difficult. And not sleeping very much during the Australian Open because here on the Pacific Coast, most of the fantastic matches are in the dead of night. So I'm up watching, super late night tennis a lot, not sleeping a lot. And I'm sure that's affecting my well-being, but so be it. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah. And I know as well that happens with Alex and Joao that we have on as well. Ardil, I'm sure as well, is losing some sleep keeping up with the tennis. Now, over to you, Alex. Obviously, we've been doing videos for many, many years, and there's so many questions I've asked. But there is one that I've not really asked live on TV.
Oh
and
my God!
No, it's a safe for work kind of question. Don't worry. No.
About Sharapova, something about Sharapova? Don't tell me about it.
No, not about that either. It's about a new recent sport which seems to be becoming very popular here at Sportsbook Review, and that is handball. And I believe that you are somewhat of a betting expert on handball. How did you get into handball betting?
We have great history in Romania with handball. We were the first side in the world, Romania, who won 4 times in a row the World Championship, the men's World Championships. But it was back in the 70s, but that still counts. We are doing a pretty good job on the women's side in Champions League with our clubs. I was a season ticket holder to our with my team from the town that I live right now. They were also in Champions League. I love this sport. I know a lot about it. I started betting it 4 or 5 years ago. I'm not betting it like I'm betting football or tennis, but I'm still doing a really good job with it. And I wonder who's on the back of that handball thing at SBR with Larry and Freddie fighting each other for the first spot there in the standings. I wrote also an article for oddsmarket.com regarding the rest of the tournament, so you can check it out. It's posted today, so You will have my tips for the winner, and some words for every team remained in the competition. It's a great sport, and little by little is getting more and more popular in Europe. I'm sure that in US it will not arrive very soon, but still plenty of money to be made. And I'm very good in Champions League on the women's side, so I can't wait for the Champions League to be back. And I will post also some handball Champions League tips on my Twitter handle, where we are 64 units of profit this season in football so far.
Sweet. And also, I know you included in tennis in that one as well. And I know when we came on the Low Bag show, you said Denmark to win. It's the men's championships right now, and you have Denmark to win.
Yeah, I have Denmark to win. They were at 3.8 when I talked about them in the Low Bag show. Now they are at 2.5. They have an amazing squad. They have the top scorer of the competition. If I will say you names, you will not understand anything. So I'm saying to you that they have great team playing at the best clubs in Europe, where handball is very popular. In Denmark, Germany, Sweden, Norway, in France, in Germany, very popular. Also in the Balkan side, also very popular in Romania, Russia. Yeah, it's getting more and more popular.
All right. And finally, to our very new guest here at Sportsbook Review, RDL. Now, tennis tipsing is your thing, and you said, I asked you, like, did you cover any other sports? And you said no, that you wanted to basically be the best at tennis tipsing, and you wanted to put all your focus that you have in tennis tipsing. How long have you been a tennis tipster for? And I have to say, you've been asking, like, how are people perceiving me? And you sort of seem, quite sort of onto that. The video that you weren't on Saturday because we lost you in the woods because they had no signal. Everyone was like, "Where's Ardil gone?" And they were all concerned where you had gone. So he's here. We just lost him, but he's back. How long have you been tennis tipsing for?
As I said in the first podcast, I've been tipping for free in several tipping sites. It's like 8 years ago. I think the first site was betdistrict.com. That is a friend of mine from Romania, from Bucharest. And there I became better and better, and I watched a lot of more of tennis, analyzed the statistics, and that's how I became better. And I started to win money via betting. And after that, I started to work for an Irish premium tipping site where the guys sold my tips, and we shared the profits, let's say. And after that, I thought I can do a better job and find better people in the team for every sport, somebody that I knew personally, and checked him over the years. And that's how I started tipstersclub.com. It's a site where we sell the tips. I know that Alex doesn't agree with this, but we also offer a lot of free stuff like match previews and free tips. So you don't have to pay necessarily, and we don't have affiliation links, and it's like a clean site. We try to do the right thing, and sometimes you have to ask money for value.
Yes, and
So
I know.
So people if they want to pay, they can pay for the premium service. If not, they can register for free on tipstersclub.com, and they can see the free tips and the match previews and the tournament previews and so on. So you can find a lot of good stuff there.
Perfect. And you also obviously give free tips here, and also I see them as well,
yes,
posted on your Twitter handle as well, Untitled. It should be in the link in the description box. It is not. I will post it as soon as this video is up, so you guys can follow. If not, Ardil, put your link there in the comment section. And listen, so away we go. Let's get on to the tennis picks, which is what you guys are all here. But I thought I had some questions I wanted to ask the guys, and I thought this would be a good time. I've got them all on. So there we go. Now, the first question is that I want to ask. We're going to start with men's singles here, quarterfinals. And Matt Maddox has brought up a really important question. And obviously, it's to do with the line movement with Tsitsipas against Bautista Augusto. So, Whale Kappa, I know you follow line movements and value hunting. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that was fascinating. If you are especially sharp at watching the markets, you presumably have positions in plus money line on both of these players already without even a ball being served, which is, pretty impressive to be in. I did not personally see this line movement coming. I thought the opening line was relatively sharp with Tsitsipas a favorite, expected to win 55-ish% of the time. And then the wave of Roberto Bautista Agut money has been pretty impressive. Pushed him all the way into a small favorite before we saw some buyback on Stefanos Tsitsipas. I personally think Tsitsipas gets this done. His game, his match versus Federer, he got a little lucky. Federer had some opportunities to break him in that second set that would have blown that thing wide open. Instead, Tsitsipas comes away with the second set, ends up coming away with the match. It was a very impressive victory from him, and we've seen, through the very, very young career to this point, Tsitsipas is able to build on that momentum and improve his game through the various stages, moving deeper into tournaments. I'm not expecting to see an especially nervy performance from him here. His game is very similar to Roger Federer's, in my opinion. Obviously, not nearly as accomplished, but in terms of style, of shot making ability, it's right in that vein. And if you look at we don't have any head to head between RBA and Tsitsipas to lean on here, but RBA has struggled significantly versus Federer in his career, coming up with an 0-8 record. I'm still not an RBA believer. I still don't really have a good explanation for this form we're seeing out of him this early in the season to this point. I'm going to back Tsitsipas on the money line here. I grabbed it when it was at plus 100. I know it's on its way back up into, the minus money territory. So I grabbed it at 2.0, and I know it's under 2. But I still think he has value in this match. I also like him to win. I like him to win minus 1.5 sets at plus 141. So basically, he wins 3-0 or 3-1, and that comes home. I'm not. I think nice run for RBA, nice season so far, great job. But I don't think he has the class and shot making ability to compete with Tsitsipas here. And I think Tsitsipas makes his first ever Slam semifinal.
Okay, and I have to say, of all the outrights in the men's singles sides, that's the only one really that you could back, either that or if you're going for RBA as well. Alex, what do you think of the match? Do you have a play for this one?
Yeah, Kang Fak Zone is saying to World Cupper, RBA is killing you, mate. This tournament, RBA is killing you. You are backing. You're going against him in every match, and he hates you. I think. I don't know what to say about it. I was
it's
RBA
not.
believer.
It doesn't feel personal, but maybe it is. Somebody is kind of feeding him the information right before the match, like, hey, nobody's believing in you, mate. Nobody believes in you, and that's all it's taken. Because you're right. I think I've bet against him 3 or 4 times now, and every time it has not come to fruition. So Tsitsipas though is a class above, in my opinion, and it's going to take something. It's going to take something wild, I think, for RBA to get a victory here. So if he cleans me out again, so be it. I might have to just stop, but I think this is where his ride ends.
I think that you're on the correct one for this time, at least this time in the quarterfinals. I think that I'm with you. I'm with Tsitsipas. He showed great qualities in his career so far. The best victory, his most important victory, let's say it like that, it was against Federer in the last round. He opened at plus money. He went at 1.75 few hours ago. He now is back to 1.97. So very weird what is happening with that game. I didn't took him till now, but I will take him now at 1.97. I think that this is a correct price for Tsitsipas. I think that he will play most of all with his heart to show that it wasn't a mistake that he won against Federer. But Roberto Bautista Agut played 3 5-setters so far against Cilic, Millman, and Andy Murray, and won against Khachanov 3-0. So he shows abilities, great level of fitness there. He can hit back many balls. It will be a long match. So I even expect five sets in this match with Tsitsipas to win it.
Okay, so both on Tsitsipas. Let's hear from Ardil, who, as we have been through this, even starting doing the videos here, often been against. So, are you with the boys here?
Again,
does your
against.
money go on RBA?
Yes, my money. So I had the RBA as a quarter winner, as I said in the first podcast that we done. At one moment, at price 15, with I'm hoping for RBA, but talking only about this matchup, I think that RBA should be the favorite. I have tipped him already as a winner at 2.05, and I said my minimum odds of 180. So I think that there starts the value on RBA, and I have also some insights in this match. So RBA has a good record against players that play with one hand, with backhand with one hand. He has 7 wins and 5 losses in the last year, and we cannot minimize his results this year. He defeated already Wawrinka, he defeated Djokovic, he defeated Bharti, Murray, Kechanov, and Cilic. He defeated these amazing guys. He played a really good year so far. I know he played a lot of matches, and he played over 4 hours in 3 matches, I think. But the reality is that he is better physically than Tsitsipas and can go on without losing the gas. We saw that against Cilic, he just crushed him with the stamina that he has. He's used to be playing in the heat. He's a Spaniard, and he likes this weather. The same with Tsitsipas. He likes the weather because he's from Greece, but I think that the stamina is better with Bautista Agut. And the main matchup that I see here, and that's why I think Bautista will win. On the long run, Tsitsipas has troubles with the backhand. He hits it a little bit high, and the inside out forehand of Bautista Agut is really good, and he won so many points in this tournament using it this way. And I think he will trouble very much Tsitsipas in the long. I think it's a 4 or 5 setters, but I really think Bautista Agut will win this. But I wouldn't bet it under 180. So I don't know what the price is now. Okay, I don't know the price now because I posted the tip 3 or 4 hours ago, and he was over 2 back then.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't.
Even money. It's right on the even money mark.
Okay, it will be a close match, but I think in the end Bautista Agut is the better tactician. He has the more experience. Tsitsipas is coming after his biggest win of his career. He was in tears. And both are fighters, but I think in the end, the one that has more experience will win this one.
All right, but you do think it's going to be a long match?
Yes, of course. It can be a long match. It can be. You cannot predict. It can be 3 tiebreaks and Tsitsipas win all of them. You cannot know because it is so close. But I think Bautista Agut will prevail in the end.
Yeah. All right. Interesting stuff. I did when we started this video, I put on the chat, I said, I wonder if they will be head-to-head as they have been, or will all unite as we get closer to the finals. We are obviously not close enough to the finals, and Ardil does go head-to-head. All right. Interesting stuff there.
Can I add, I'd like to add one little nugget. Tsitsipas is an emotional player. He 100% draws on the crowd, not unlike Juan Martín del Potro. And I expect he will have an enormous advantage in terms of crowd support in this match. The Greek kind of nationality has really embraced him as a player and has embraced kind of this, kind of new coming of having a national, an international star. And they have an enormous footprint in Southern Australia for whatever reason. There are just a lot of Greek nationals down there, or people with Greek heritage.
The biggest Greek community. The biggest Greek community after Greece is in Australia. Yeah.
It's wild. So I would think that the crowd support here is going to be like 99-1 And, you're going to really, in the tight moments, even if the chips are down for him, I would expect them to elevate him. And that might be the differentiating factor in this match, because I do agree it's close. I don't think that this is, clearly a match that should be where Tsitsipas should be the clear favorite. But I do think that the differentiating factor of the home crowd support and the way that, his ride is kind of, has elevated him to, the beating Federer is just amazing, and doing it in the way he did it was pretty impressive. So I think that's the key factor here, really, for me, and why I like Tsitsipas to get it done and get it done in style.
Okay, I see your point here.
Definitely
I see your
difference
point.
of opinions as well, and you can see it as well on the chat. But
Tsitsipas.
a lot of leans to the overs, though. If somebody's a bit nervous on playing the outright. Another two, obviously, Novak Djokovic has been the favorite throughout the tournament. Now, Rafael Nadal is a close favorite. Obviously, heavy favorites against Francis Tiafoe. Any plays in this match, you think? Has anybody got anything?
Yes, I think Tiafoe will cover the handicap, the 8.5 handicap here.
Okay.
Tiafoe has a really good serve, a really good forehand, and he moves a lot on the court. He moves side by side, and he tries, like Rafa does, to hit many forehands. And I think he will win some. He will lose this match, but he will cover the 8.5. That means 6-3, 6-3, 6-4, and he covered it. I think
I like him even more than that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't like to overstep, because I've been against Nadal the entire tournament, and I've got beaten every time. And I think the handicap is the best way, and not overplay it also with the sets handicap and the money line. But each gambler, each bettor will think for himself. I say it will be closer than the odds say. The odds of 15 or something like that. I don't know exactly the odds now, but insanely big. And as we said from the beginning, Nadal is prone to injuries. You don't know when his knee will soar up before the match. You don't know. It's a risky thing to price Nadal 1.01 or something like that.
I'm going Nadal 3-1 at 4.33, and I'm going over 3.5 sets in the match at 3.0.
I like that. I like that look.
We agree here.
I like that look.
We agree.
Is that your play as well, Cover?
No, I have a couple on this one, but I like what you guys are all saying here, and I will add this about you brought up, Natalie. You brought up at the beginning, Nadal really has taken, has eaten up all of the margin that was afforded by Cilic and Federer being upset, Dimitrov, Anderson being upset. It's all in Nadal's pocket right now, because he is the last player on the bottom half of this draw with any Grand Slam pedigree whatsoever. And so the presumption now, as we sit here and look at how this has worked out, is that you are going to look at a Djokovic Nadal final, and then the prices kind of reflect what the money line prices in that final will be, in my opinion. Djokovic as a kind of a small to medium favorite in that match. What I'll say is that Nadal, while he has not looked amazing this tournament, up until just an absolute drubbing of Thomas Berdych, who he owns lifetime, which was not entirely surprising, he was afforded a lot of center court opportunities. Labour Court has been playing the slowest of all of the Australian Open courts, and one of the reasons is it hasn't seen a ton of action, or it hadn't, at least through week one. So the grit was a little bit grittier, the court was a little bit slower, and they gave him a lot of daytime slots. He likes playing better during the day. He likes the conditions better during the day. With the temperature coming back up a little bit, with the wear that's been going on that Labour Court, with some of these matches going a little bit longer and some more match being played, I'm going to expect that it is not going to be as easy for Nadal to dominate as the bookmakers have lined this, especially because Tiafoe is a big game player. He utterly relishes this opportunity of coming in and trying to play spoiler against these bigger opponents. He's done it his whole career, especially in the best of five stuff. Most of Tiafoe's kind of reputation as being an underperformer to this point in his career comes from best of three, where he loses some utter stinkers. He's lost to some pretty horrific players as you go back through the last couple of years in best of 3. But in best of 5, he pushed Federer to the brink in the early rounds of the U.S. Open 2 years ago. He's done consistently impressive performances, at least in my opinion, because he's come up against some tough challengers in some of these best of 5 matches, and he's given us a nice glimpse of what looks to be a contender for future, and somebody who has the gumption and the stones to really challenge at the best of 5 level. I don't know that I can really make a case that he comes away with an upset here, but if you're going to give me a price that he wins a set at plus 175 or 2.75, I'm taking that every day. So, give me Tiafoe to win at least a set at 2.75. That's my favorite look on this match. And, if I have to call it, I'm going to look for Nadal 3-2. And with just a grueling 3-2, not unlike we saw Nadal and Thiem at the U.S. Open, something like that that comes down to a 5th set super tiebreak. And I think that opens the door for Tsitsipas to make the final. I really do.
Wow.
The court is going to get faster and faster and faster. Nadal, I don't think has the value to that the current price is out there for him. It's all path. That price is all path, and it's not really accounting for changing conditions. So I think Tiafoe really puts a lot of damage on Nadal in this match and opens the door for a Tsitsipas final.
Let's not forget that Tiafoe has also a story on his back. He was the son of the janitor in a tennis club. A long story short, he made the money for the family, arriving at this level. He's doing the Grand Slam of his career till now. He's so emotional after each win, on tears, like Eugene said about Tsitsipas. But for Tiafoe, it's even more important than for Tsitsipas. I think that he's at the best level of his career right now, and he has plenty years to go. From now on, so it will be a nice match, at least to watch, because the crowd, I don't know, maybe it will be 50-50 because Nadal is always the crowd's favorite wherever he's playing. But I think that the crowd will be 50-50 with the Tiafoe right now.
Interesting stuff. And just going back, Whale Kappa, you were sort of one breath sort of mentioned sort of a Djokovic and Nadal, a sort of straight forecast final here, or Djokovic and Tsitsipas. Who do you think? Can you call it? And obviously the highest price would be to see Tsitsipas with Djokovic at 7. Djokovic and Nadal is 4.5. Would either of those get a futures play from you?
Djokovic Tsitsipas at 7. You said that's the price on the exact finals matchup. Djokovic Tsitsipas is 7.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh yes, that is out. Oh yes, absolutely. Because Djokovic. Let's not get anything wrong. This is now Djokovic's tour. I mean, this is his slam to lose, and it's not particularly close in my opinion. I don't think Nishikori or Raonic and in a very unlikely event, Puel stops him from the final. He's got a very clear path, and then it's just a matter of who is on the other side. And if it's Tsitsipas, we're in for a fun final. But I don't think Tsitsipas has it in him to get a win over Djokovic in a slam now. But I do think Tsitsipas can oust Nadal in the semifinal, especially if Nadal takes damage in this match with Tiafoe, which I'm expecting that he will.
Okay. And our deal, obviously thinking that RBA is going to beat Tsitsipas, you can do Djokovic and RBA at odds of 36. What do you think of that one?
I have my outright bets done already. I think Nadal can defeat RBA in a semi-final if he's fit. One moment, I have to check this one. Yeah.
So look how we are talking. Well, Kappa is saying Tsitsipas with Djokovic.
Yeah.
It will be a great final.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Nadal can beat RBA if he's fit.
I think everything is going from here. RBA with Tsitsipas from this point of view from us three. Djokovic has an easy job, I think, now against Nishikori because he played fewer hours. Nishikori was I don't want to say the bad word, but he was like playing very badly against the most of the players, and the only one that can frustrate Djokovic here will be Raonic if he serves insanely high percentage. He can get in tiebreaks against Djokovic. He did it in the past. I think he also won a match or two against Djokovic in the past. Not at this level, but I think if he's in full form and if he's serving insanely good, he can trouble Djokovic. I will enjoy that in the semifinals if he gets there the handicaps on Raonic. But I think RBA will play in the end Nadal in the semifinal, and Nadal will defeat RBA, and we will have the final Nadal versus Djokovic.
All right. 4.5. Is there still value on that? And what did you take it at in the beginning?
I didn't take Nadal because I was worried. No, I would take as he was the best. He played the best tennis from all. He had also the easiest draw. That's true, but he played the best tennis so far. He didn't make mistakes in any matches. So I think he will have a tough one with Tiafoe, and then maybe 4 sets against the RBA or Tsitsipas. But if he's fit, how he looks now, he will get to the final. But I won't bet anything outright from here on because I have invested a lot of money in outrights, and I let them ride.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping on RBA anyway because that's the biggest quarter winner that I have.
Yeah, a lot of money riding on it. Can be nervous times. And obviously you started the conversation there with Djokovic and Nishikori. Alex, do you have a play for this match?
Nothing. I can see an easy match for Djokovic. 3-0 at 1.78. This is my only play for this match. With some bookies you can find it at 1.83. I don't think that Nishikori should put many problems to Djokovic. Nishikori, who unbelievably came from 2 sets down with Carreño Busta to win 3-2. But if it was Djokovic instead of Carreño Busta, he would finish with a 6-0. I think that in the final set, for sure. So I think that Djokovic is too good right now for Nishikori, and they have a history together. Djokovic won all the matches since 2014 and on. So I don't know, around 15 of them. And most of them in straight sets. Last one, US Open, 3-0 against Nishikori. So another 3-0 for me at 1.83.
All right. And Whale Kappa, do you think, obviously an easy ride for Djokovic here. Are there any valuable plays?
Yeah, no, I think Djokovic 3-0 is a valuable play because I think Djokovic was showing a little bit of fatigue in portions of that match versus Medvedev, and it will be especially important for him to get this done quickly. And we are talking about one of the most lopsided head-to-heads in all of men's tennis right now. Like, this is the last handful of matches between these two were truly non-competitive. And I would expect Djokovic, Nishikori doesn't have like a specific skill set that lends itself to being dangerous for Djokovic. So I would expect this to be a relatively not, no sweat for Nole, that he gets this done in 3-0. In part because he has to. I think he needs a little bit of time to get himself up to full prep for a Raonic semifinal. And potentially a Nadal or a Tsitsipas final. But beyond that, like, he has exactly the game that will, even when Djokovic was not in great form early in 2018, he was still pummeling Nishikori. So I think this is going to be pretty lopsided, and I would take 3-0 Joker for the price that Alex quoted, or I would look at him on the game's handicap or the under. All three, I think, are good looks on this one.
All right, and final match here, quarterfinals, men's singles, Milos Raonic, Lucas Pouille, and a lot of people in the comment section saying here that Raonic is a dark horse. He's been serving well. Matt, though, did say it's around the quarters or semis that he slips up. Obviously, he is a massive favourite against Luis Pouille. Start us off here, Alex. Again, Milos Raonic, Luis Pouille, what do you like?
I think that Milos should win this match. He showed great fitness level of fitness. He won against Zverev easily. One of our friends is saying that he won Kyrgios and Wawrinka. Wawrinka is not 100% fit. Kyrgios, a lot of talk about Kyrgios. If we had 2 hours at our disposal, we can talk about Kyrgios till tomorrow. He's never the guy to be backed. Even though I backed him in the first match against Raonic, I shouldn't. I said the same thing, that he will be in front of his fans and they will give him some energy, but you can never back Kyrgios. He's a great talent, but you don't know if he wants to play in that match or he doesn't. He will go. He has a, I don't know, meeting somewhere. He's going for beers with some friends. You never know what in what condition Kyrgios he is. So, but still, I will give Raonic credit for the last match against Alexander Zverev. Easy win, 3-0. I think that he will win against Pui, but I don't have any bet for this match.
Okay, Max Maddox says Raonic 3-1 at plus 275. But Trevor Andrews saying Puli is unpredictable. Interesting stuff. I've lost a lot of money backing that Dumbo, says Wiki Insane. There we go. There we go. Our deal. It's everyone seems to be talking about this, and obviously how Raonic is doing in this competition. We've mentioned a few futures here outright, and he has not been mentioned. But do you have any plays, and how far do you see him going?
I didn't see that coming. Raonic surprised me very much because he was injured last year and he didn't show anything to make this assumption that he will play this good in this tournament. He played always good here, but I didn't expect this. On the other side, Zverev was like drunk on the court. You cannot compare Pui as he played today. He was a fighter against Koric. And Koric is a grinder, and he kept there despite losing the first set. Pui has a new coach, Amelie Mauresmo. He didn't impress in the first matches, but I see some determination. I see some motivation here. I think he will lose, but he will cover the handicaps. As I see some tie breaks here. But I think he will lose because in his career, I have now the stats here. He won only 7 matches against players that are taller than 6 feet 4. I think you guys from America know this. These heights. I don't know. I think it's 190 something, and lost 15 of them. So I think he will lose. But in almost all matches, he played the tiebreak. So I think he will cover today too. It will be a fun match to watch, I think, because they will rush at the net very much, and that's tennis I like very much.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to move on to the women's. We've got about 20 minutes max that we can cover the women's here. So we must actually. Sorry, I didn't ask you well cover Raonic. Oh, I did ask you.
I did
ask you.
I agree with our deal's breakdown there. I think Puel makes it a competitive match. I don't think it's a straight set win for Raonic at all. 3-1 makes a ton of sense, or just over. I'm sure you can get a decent price on over 3.5 sets. I actually think it probably goes 5. I think Puel can take, Pui can take 2 sets here. And, both players with new coaches are playing inspired tennis right now. Neither one was anywhere on my radar when the tournament started, but they've played with determination and focus, which you usually don't see from these guys. And I think a ton of it comes down to how they're being coached, how they're preparing for these matches. And I think that will bear out in this one with a relatively close match here. But I think Raonic eventually prevails, and I would look for a games over or the Pui handicap or sets over. All 3 good looks, in my opinion.
Okay, moving over to the women's singles, and I've just begged for a bit more time. Women's singles. All right, Alex, you seem to be a little bit. Has this been tougher for the men's? And which is your favorite match that you're liking right now for bets purposes?
For the women's part?
Yes.
Well, I really like. I don't want to like it, but I really like Serena to win 2-0 against Karolina Pliskova at even money. Yeah, it's a long discussion there with Serena Williams. Again, I would say that she can easily play 6 years more. She is 37-year old right now. She will at the middle of this year she will be number one again. For sure, absolutely convinced about it. She can easily win 3 slams this year if she will perform at this level. I think that she will avoid many tournaments and she will try to participate in the most important ones. The facts the facts are simple. So in the women's tournament, I was watching all the women's matches, most of them this tournament. So you are playing against Serena Williams. You have no chance. Listen to this. You have no chance. It's only about Serena Williams if she wants to lose that match or wants to win that match. You simply have no chance. She is outside of the world. She's outside from this world. She's amazing. I hate to say it, but the WTA tournament tour is nothing with Serena Williams inside. It was fun without Serena Williams. When Serena Williams was missing from the tournament, you could have Kerber, Wozniacki, Halep, and so on, Osaka, and other girls playing for titles and battling for number one there, you know. But when Serena Williams is at top level, serving at top level, focusing very good, you cannot beat her. Halep had a small chance today. She was leading 3-2 in the final set and had 2 break points. But I'm sure that even if she was doing the break, she was to lose after that. This is what I believe on the women's side. I think that easily Serena Williams should take this trophy, give it to her already. So 2-0 for Serena Williams at even money. On the women's side, that's about it. I think that another interesting match, it will be Osaka versus Svitolina. And I'm going with the underdog here with Elina Svitolina at 2.20. But that's about it for me on the women's side.
All right, so I know you're not a massive fan of Serena Williams, but at 2.5 there, you've got a week to, see the return of your money at 2.5. Should we jump on it?
No, absolutely.
You're saying give her the trophy, but 2.5 and waiting a week for it, it's no.
No,
one's doing
I think that the bookies should do it like in football, you know, in soccer. What will happen in Serie A without Juventus, you know? What will happen at the Australian Open without Serena? You know, this is how the bookies should consider in giving. Also, the company that is giving her jerseys and outfits should really be ashamed of themselves. They are making fun of her totally. That green outfit is a disaster. Come on, you cannot have that. I don't know what she's thinking about it and what designer she has, but I don't want to say the name of the brand, but I think that they are totally making fun of her.
All right. And okay, so we've got one play from Alex there from Serena Williams. I agree, the outfits are different. I do feel she's a strong enough woman to say no to the outfit. So I'm wondering whether she actually quite likes the attention that they are bringing. But listen, so we've got one pick, all right, from Alex and Need for Tips. Whale Kappa. Just from the sounds of Alex here, it seems to be a lot harder to cap the women's side as it has been the entire tournament so far. What plays are you looking at on the women's side that you really like?
Well, first I want to address what was a pretty abjectly blatant attempt to jinx Serena Williams on the part of Alex. We do not appreciate that in the Serena Williams hive. Get that nonsense jinx attempt out of here. That was pretty obvious. Good try though. I don't disagree with you that she should get by Pliskova, but I don't think it's going to be easy. Pliskova is playing extremely well, and she has not succeeded against Serena necessarily in past slam opportunities. But I do think that it's not a slam dunk to back Serena 2-0. I will also say that I don't think that the price reflects how talented the women in the second quarter are. Serena's going to have her hands full in the semifinals. And then other than that, it looks pretty straightforward for Kvitova to make the final, and I think Savina Kvitova is going to be tough. So I don't necessarily think that it's easy money to back Serena right now. I don't think that it's as simple as other than Serena, what will happen at the Australian Open. I think it's going to be a competitive final week here on the women's side of the draw. I have a position on Serena at plus 550 from around the U.S. Open when I was so fully convinced that she was going to squash Osaka and then put up that stinker of a performance in the final. I was stumping for Serena then at the prices of plus 500, plus 550. So I have some of that still in my queue. And before this tournament, we talked about in the outrights. I have positions on Svitolina and Kvitova. So I would, dream scenario for me is that we see Svitolina pull off the upset against Osaka. We see Kvitova take care of business and make the semifinals, and then I'll have 3 out of 4 potentially of the last 4 women remaining, and I can just kind of kick my feet up and enjoy the final because I do not think the winner of Pavlyuchenkova and DRC. I do not think that whoever wins that match, which I would look for value on Pavs. I think minus 125 is a short price for her. I think she should be closer to minus 150 there. I think she gets the win today against Danielle Rose Collins. And then, but more, I guess my favorite look probably is in the Kvitova match. Kvitova Bharti is a very, very good tennis match. Very complementary styles going against each other. And I 100% think that this goes 3 sets. We saw them just play a very, very tight match, which was decided in the 3rd set in Sydney. This one, to me, stacks up exactly the same way. If you're going to give me plus 2.5 sets at plus 143, that's my favorite look of the women's side in the quarterfinals of all of them. And effectively, because I have a Svitolina future and I'm not hedging it, I guess I'm basically advocating for Svitolina money line as an underdog there, although that's going to be a very tough match for her. But she's playing with confidence and coolness that we haven't seen from her in past slams. So Svitolina, get through, please. Give us one more round, please, on that 14-1 I'm holding on her. And Kvitova, if Kvitova can make the finals, I'm going to be pretty stoked because I think I got her at 20-1 right before the Australian Open started, and that would definitely help a lot of the lackluster performance I've had handicapping match by match to this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what are your favorite plays for the women's side? Say
Kvitova, Bharti over 2.5 sets at plus 143 is my favorite, and it's not close.
Nice. All right. Oh, again, not close. Okay. And Ardil, how did you find obviously capping the women's single compared to the men's? And tell us your favorite plays as well, women's singles.
I think that the women's are easier to read and find here value because they play the same standards 2 out of 3 sets as the rest of the season, and you can expect what is happening more easily than on the men's side, because on the men's side, when you have a Tsitsipas or a Tiafoe, there is a small sample to see how they perform over the 4 hours or 5 hours against the player. And here with the women, you can predict easier because you know how they play in 3-setters and how they play when they face big favorites or so on. I like Pavlyuchenkova to win here. I don't know why she's drifting to 185. Daniel Collins played good, but Kerber was drunk on the court. Garcia, I don't know how she got in the 3rd round, for example. And Georges served for the match. So I think she got a bit lucky, but she deserves to be here. Pavlyuchenkova, when she's in form, she can defeat everybody. So Pavlyuchenkova is an amazing player. She has the forehand, she has the backhand, she has the serve. If she is red hot, she can defeat everybody on tour. But that happens pretty rarely. But she should have enough with an average performance here to defeat Collins. The next match, Kvitova versus Bharti. I think that You are right, Will, because I see also 3 sets, but I won't go with the 3 sets. I will go over 21.5 games because you can cover that also in 2 sets. And I think there will be a tiebreak or a long set here, and that can push the over also in 2 sets. These two have amazing serves, both of them, and they play both aggressively. They like to play at the net. They like to be driving in the driving seat when they are serving. So I think it will be a match with a lot of holds and a long match. On the Osaka with Svitolina match, I have Osaka outright to win the Australian Open, but I doubt. I won't take anything here. I think Svitolina is value to win this match, despite I have Osaka, but I won't cover anything because I let my futures ride as I thought in the beginning. I have no bet here because I think Svitolina can win, but hopefully she will lose. and on the last match, Williams versus Pliskova, you had made such an like a lawyer you did here, Alex. I don't know why you are so impressed with Williams. She barely moved on the court. It's not about Williams. It's about the opponent. If she can move her from side to side in the second set, she can move. Serena won this match only with the serving and with the yelling on the court. She got scared. Halep got a little bit scared, and she was afraid to win this match. She should have won, and Serena served amazingly on the breakpoints. That's my opinion. I don't think Serena will win that many tournaments in the future, and I really doubt she will be number one in the world again. She has no fitness. She is fitter than in the past, but if she's not winning the matches 2-0, it's hard for her to win a slam again. I think that Pliskova played amazingly this tournament, and she played the red hot Georgie, who can defeat also everybody on the court. Pliskova has won 9 of the last 10 matches. She won already a tournament in this year. I think she can defeat Williams here because they also had some verbal assaults between the two. But I won't back anything here because I also have Pliskova to win the quarter, and I'm letting my 7.5 quarter winner ride here. It's a good thing for me, so I won't bet anything here. My bets are over at Bharti with Kvitova and Pavlyuchenkova to win against Collins.
The best thing is
Interesting
the
stuff.
verbal
All right, guys,
fight.
I think.
the
Does anybody have anything that they would like to add? Alex.
No. I think that the best verbal fight it was Sloane Stephens against Pavlyuchenkova few time ago in China. I think I saw some the China match in replay before they played together in the last round of the Australian Open, and they said some bad words to each other.
All right. Great stuff. Guys, it has been an hour of tennis pleasure, I have to say. It's amazing talking to you guys because you really know what you're talking about. Whale Kappa, Alex Need for Tips, and our deal from tipstersclub.com. A massive pleasure, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday, semi-finals. Take care, best of luck, and thank you very much to everybody watching.
Hopefully
Thank
for
you, Natalie.
another winning day.